It's the G to the U to the R to the U. So now we're talking the second place team in the AFC East, the Miami Dolphins, South Beach themselves, man. What I call them, the New England Patriots of the South. You know what I'm saying? The New England Patriots of the South is called the Miami Dolphins because they're just following the blueprint. Exactly what the New England Patriots did, you know what I'm saying, in the early 2000s when Belichick first got there with Brian Flores and stuff like that, is the same blueprint the Miami Dolphins doing with Chris Grier, the GM and company, man. So obviously the Dolphins are led by Chris Grier and Brian Flores. So let's move on to as far as the key departure of this season. The Dolphins are loaded, man. They didn't really lose much. The couple of key departures is Shaq Lawson. They also lost Kyle Van Noy and Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't think any of these guys, other than maybe Shaq Lawson, I think would, and obviously Ryan Fitzpatrick as far as leadership skills and, you know, all the extra stuff he brought to the locker room. But other than that, I think this team is definitely the Chris Grier and Brian Flores have done an outstanding job as far as this roster, man. As far as turning over this roster and this being one of the most talented roster in all of football. To be honest with y'all, this team is ready, like for real. Now let me move on to as far as like the key arrivals. Obviously, when you depart, you got to have some arrivals, man. There's two key arrivals I think the Dolphins really identify and they attack, and I love both of these key arrivals. They needed an extra oomph as far as the receiving core. They needed a burner. They needed somebody that could scare someone. You know what I mean? And the addition of Will Fuller. Obviously, we know Tissue Will, you know what I'm saying? We know Soft Will, we know Glass Will. So obviously, if he falls too hard or something, if he runs too fast, he might miss 2 or 3 games, dog. But when he do play, though, you know what I'm saying? We know Will Fuller is a bona fide NFL, legitimately deep threat player, dog. He's outstanding in his role, man. He's a deep threat specialist. And another sneaky thing a lot of people might not mention or might not talk about is the addition of JC, man, Justin Coleman. I love me Justin Coleman. I think Justin Coleman is one of those upper level tier slot corners, and he's been doing it on the cover for the last 3 to 5 seasons in the NFL, man. The last 3 years, or basically 3 to 4 years, JC's been a top 7 slot corner in this entire league. And I think put him in there with Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. Now I'm telling you, the Dolphins secondary, man, oh my goodness. Try beating those guys, man. Try beating those guys off the line with Byron Jones, Howard, and now with the addition of one of the most smart IQ inside corner, Justin Coleman, man. So I love Chris Grier, what they're doing right now. I love Brian Flores as far as the roster turnover, man. So I want to talk about the needs as far as draft needs moving into the 2021 draft, man. This is my needs from looking at the roster, what they're lacking in the deficiencies. They need an offensive line as far as like tackle. They also need a pass rusher. They need an edge rusher. They need someone to get to the quarterback or at least generate some pressure. They also need a tight end. I think a young quarterback's favorite friend is a tight end, and also obviously you need some more skill players as far as the outside skill players and wide receivers. So with the draft projection. With the 6th pick of the draft, I anticipate the Miami Dolphins, because the way the draft will lay out, I think the best option at this situation with the 6th pick is to draft Florida tight end Kyle Pitts. I think that just makes more sense, especially with Tua going into his 2nd year and he need to take that second step. And there's nothing, a quarterback best friend, a quarterback best resources, especially a young quarterback in football, is the tight end. And there's no other tight end I've scouted in a very long time coming out the draft than Kyle Pitts. And I think this right here will be a peanut butter jelly made in Miami, man. Moving on as far as the 2nd pick, the second round pick 36 for the Miami Dolphins. They need a pass rush. They need a defensive end. They need a general pass rusher. So I like Joseph Osai from Texas. My African brother, Joseph Asai, this dude, man, he plays every down, man. This dude is a relentless pass rusher. He's been in there for a few years. I mean, this kid right now, he just know how to get after the quarterback. Yes, he's kind of raw in certain places, but as far as it said, hey, go get the quarterback, my man Joseph Osai will go get that damn quarterback. That's for sure, man, from the University of Texas, man. And then the third pick, in the third round, I want them to go to the University of Tennessee and get one of my best, one of my favorite interior offensive linemen, Trey Smith, man. This dude is just a human moving machine, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he majored in moving human being from point A to point B. That's Trey Smith right there. So overall, I think the Miami Dolphins have an outstanding offseason. They didn't really have glaring needs because they're fulfilled with their roster. And I love how they're manipulating the draft as far as moving down and generating more draft, which giving them more talent and more bodies. So overall, the Dolphins finished 10-6 last year, barely missing the playoff. Now with the full season, off season for Tua, who has a full healthy off season, so he can focus on getting better as a player. And obviously with the infusion of more talented players, I anticipate the Dolphins to continue the upward swing. They might not necessarily go 10-6, but I anticipate them to be a better team than was. The record might not necessarily showcase that, but I think moving forward, I think the Dolphins have everything in place as far as the GM, as far as the coach. We're not certain sure at the quarterback, but we're definitely certain sure as far as everything else around him, man. So that's the Miami Dolphins 2021 offseason need and draft projection. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss the defending AFC East champion, man, the Buffalo